Thank you. I say, Barrington, good news.
More action, sir.
Better than that, my entry's been accepted for the Monte.
Oh, whiz, sir.
You realize that when I become a millionaire, there'll always be a job for you, at my side.
Thank you, sir.
In a junior capacity, of course.
Of course, sir.
I think you know the toast.
I think so, sir. The toast is the Monte Carlo Rally.
The Monte.
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 The Monte. The Monte.
Get out the jalopy and polish the wheels. She's gotta be the smartest of the automobiles. Polish the paint work and clean off the rust. They won't see our chassis for dust. And when we arrive miles ahead of the rest, everyone will know that our jalopy is best. They'll have to admit she's a car you can trust. So it's Monte Carlo or bust.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monte Carlo or Bust. So we got our new intros rocking and rolling. We got an outstanding outro, and we got some good filler in the middle. So it looks like you guys can hear me, so I can take these off. So welcome. We've got a few people in the chat, so leave a comment. Always good to hear from you guys. Guys and girls, it is 12 noon here in Eastern time, so that'll be actually 4 p.m. in the UK. It's been a bit of a shift between us and you, and goodness knows what that'll be in Australasia, 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2, I'm not sure. But anyway, wherever you are, I hope you're having a great time, and welcome. Come on in. My name is Dr. H. I am the Cryptopractor, and on this channel, we give hands-on edutainment to blossoming neophytes, new crypto investors, and the next generation OGs. So if that's the sort of thing that's of interest to you, then go down below, boop the like, spank the subscribe, do it gently, and ding the notification bell to all. And on the next stream, if I've got to do it out of hours, then you'll be the first to hear, or amongst the first to hear. Now, my main gig, probably as you can tell by my name, is chiropractic. I am an enthusiastic amateur in the crypto field, have been for 3 years. So lots of lessons learned, and I'd just like to share them with you so you people new to the crypto space don't make the same types of mistakes. Now, I owe you an apology from last year's, I know you an apology from last week's show. I was going to give you a ton of information about Monte Carlo, which we ran out of time. I wanted to honor your time. I don't really want to go over about an hour because you should have more. You should have a lot of great things to get on with in your life, and so I try and keep it at that. So I did an extra stream in the small hours while I was testing things. So if you want to click on that, just go to the playlist. It will be there, and it gives you a whole bunch of facts about Monte Carlo. So today's show, I'm going to show you an awesome app which you can use all over the world to check out things. And there's kind of an interesting and kind of bizarre fact which indicates kind of the exclusivity of Monaco. All right, now for those of you that are brand new to the channel, welcome, come on in. I've got my premise here. What is the premise? Why am I doing this stuff? What is the premise? The premise of Monte Carlo or Bust is that we are taking $1,000 and turning it into some real estate in Monte Carlo. Now, the experiment started on the 12th of September 2024 as edutainment, not advice. I show you my investment strategy for beginners in action. For context, to buy a car parking space in Monaco costs 290,000 euros or 315,000 US dollars. And a 2-room apartment will set you back 2.1 million euros or 2.3 million US dollars. So let's get going right now. Oh, yes, right now. So you've got some other facts I dished out yesterday. One that I love is that Monaco is only 2.1 square kilometers in total. Okay, so it's basically 4 kilometers or along the coast of the Mediterranean, and it goes back a couple of kilometers. And let's see, if you just bear with me, let's see what we've got here. I want to give you some context. Oh, actually, you did see it. Yeah, if you'll see this on the stream yesterday, but I want to actually just show you. In fact, let's see if we can do something slightly different than that. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit more of a mashup, a bit more of. Okay, so I'm just going to share this with you, lovely people. There it is. Okay, so this top one here you can see is a good illustration of Monaco. On 3 sides surrounded by France. They do speak French. That's the main language of Monaco. They spend the euro. Okay, the 4th side is on the Mediterranean. I am going to end up giving you hundreds of interesting facts about Monaco. Sorry, not the consensus. The census in 2023 was 38,000, a population of 38,000, and that square kilometerage, that is 0.8 of a square mile for those of you. Today we are talking about bridges. Okay, what is a bridge in crypto? Okay, this is a really important question, especially for me as a newcomer. I didn't really know what it was. I only stayed in one place, which was basically Ethereum. I didn't really venture out of there because that's where Hex was at the time, and Hex is one of my favorite coins. One of the coins that I research. I normally give you my guarantee, but I don't think I've set it up just yet. I'll give it to you in a little bit. So Hex was one of my one of my first crypto coins that I got into, and I got into it pretty heavily at the top or very near to the top, which is why I'm an amateur. I'm not doing this for money. When my portfolio flips green again, which I'm very, very confident it will, I will then be a professional. But at the moment, I'm still an amateur. And that is how most people get into crypto. So if you're watching on YouTube, bought a high, don't worry about it. That's how most people hear about it, because that's, of course, when Everyone is getting excited, almost manic about the product. So not a surprise. But now my portfolio is spread across a couple of chains, Ethereum a little bit, but primarily pulsechain. So so that's good to it's essential, not just good, it's essential. Now a bridge is a double-edged sword. Okay, on one hand, it's like an extra barrier to getting to, say, the country that you want to live in. So let's just consider the blockchains as separate countries. Okay, so for example, Bitcoin is not just a cryptocurrency, it is also a network. On that one, because of the coding structure was old, then really it's just Bitcoin that can move around there. There's some other add-ons that they've put on over the years, but it's all kind of like stacked onto one on top of the other. It wasn't kind of built with that in mind. And then Ethereum came along and it was designed to have new products built on it within that country. Okay, so it's kind of like it was geared up to have 100 different businesses on it or 1,000 different businesses on it, whereas Bitcoin was only geared up to have one business. Okay, so a lot of people were attracted to Ethereum because of that, although it wasn't as stable as Bitcoin in terms of volatility, because Bitcoin had been around a lot longer. Ethereum had a lot more going for it. But now when you want to move your Bitcoin and you think, oh, I'll have a go over that in that country of Ethereum, I fancy going over there, the quality of life seems different, and you move your Bitcoin over, you've got to use what's called a bridge to get in until centralized exchanges are established. And then those centralized exchanges, they'll do the exchange from your fiat currency, so your pounds, your dollars, your yen, your pence, from your yen, from your fiat currency into your crypto. Okay, so into the self-sovereignty of your own value within this thing that we call cryptocurrency. So, you know, the hours of work that you put in, you get rewarded, and you want to be able to transfer that into other aspects so you can improve your quality of life. And that's where crypto comes along with no middleman. But that's the attraction. No one can say, no, you can't have your value back. We've taken it from you because we're the government and we can. Okay, and it's not a crazy conspiracy theory. It's just a fact that if you have control over your own possessions, then you're more likely to get them back. What do they say? They say possession is 9/10 of the law. Okay, so if you're in a deal and you give someone some of your money, fiat or crypto or whatever, once they've got it, they've got it. Okay, so you've got to make sure there's a fair exchange. Okay, by cutting out a middleman, you can determine whether it's fair or not, but it becomes your responsibility. That is principle number one. Okay, guys, that is enough of me yakking. I want to get straight in. Now, I don't know if you remember that a few years ago, and maybe they still have them, but more of a 90s office, you would have a click-clacky thing that you put on the desk. Okay, it would have 5 balls. You pull one, and I'm going to show you one in a second if you don't know what I'm talking about. You pull one ball and let go, and now it goes to the other side. Now, a crypto bridge is a little bit different. It isn't just as you've seen in the it isn't just a bridge in the traditional sense, i.e. the car comes on one side or you walk on one side and you walk off the other side into your new country. Okay, a bridge, actually, you walk in one side, the protocol takes that value and wraps it up in a form that the other side recognizes. So it has to change the code because the code on the networks are different, and the interface between those codes can be it's the interface which is actually attached, but it's not you walking out the other side in kind of a spacesuit. You can walk on, you know, in this new country because you've got this new. What happens is you get stopped at the border and you get replicated. Okay, and the country that you're going into replicates you in a code that it likes, and then it lets you pass on. The value stays on the bridge, so you stay on in the code of the bridge. Your facsimile carries on into the new country. Now, why is that important to understand? That's important to understand because if there is a hack, and a lot of the hacks tend to happen on bridges because they seem to be a little less watertight than other protocols. Okay, so if there's a hack on the bridge where your value is, then that's where the loss happens. It doesn't happen with you wandering around in there. Let's call the countries. One is Ethereum, and then the other is pulsechain. So you've left Ethereum going into pulsechain, but you don't go into pulsechain, or a facsimile of you goes into pulsechain. The real you stays on the bridge. And then when you come back from pulsechain to Ethereum, you want to remove value because perhaps there isn't an on-ramp, off-ramp on the new chain that you've been playing with. Then you get out of, or the clone you gets out and basically pushes you back into Ethereum, and the value is exchanged through the code, and then the real you pops back into Ethereum, and you can go about doing your shopping and do whatever you need to do. Okay, so I put together a little video to try and explain this, and also you'll see the nuts and bolts of getting onto the bridge. Okay, right, so here it comes, guys. If you just bear with me a second, because again, this is I was practicing this, but I was hoping to have it more squared away by now. Okay, be that very shortly. In fact, in the meantime, I just got to remind you. Oh, actually, I don't think.
Are you not entertained?
Okay, guys, so this is obviously not official advice. All right. Okay, so I'll be there in a second. Now, just give me a few more seconds. I'm just trying to work out how to do this. I've got that there. I got. You go stupid, and that is official, because the energy is removed from your brain and goes to your legs to run away or to your muscles to fight. And I'm having one of those moments right at the moment, but I'll be with you very shortly. No. Oh, there it is. Okay, almost there. Here it is. So there we go. So we got Ethereum on the left. We pass through. We're trying to get to Hex. Now, Hex, as it comes across, is not really Ethereum. It's wrapped up in Ethereum. And at the end, you get unwrapped. Okay. So let's see if we can do that one again. Oh, yeah, we can. Sweet. Okay. So here it is. So you got Ethereum on the left. All right. You want to take it across the bridge to the land of Hex, which is on the right. Okay. Now, how you do it, you put your Ethereum into one side of the protocol. All right. The energy is transferred through the protocol. So in other words, they take your crypto coin that's on that network, they wrap it. Well, in fact, they generate a code, and it's called wrapped Ethereum. So it's really a facsimile of the Ethereum. It isn't the Ethereum. So it's a photograph of the Ethereum, if you like. And it pops out on the other side in a way that the new chain can see, and the new chain can move around. You can transact on the new chain once it's been what's called wrapped. And here it goes there. So the other chain is pulsechain, and that is Hex. So say I'm trying to buy Hex. I want to go across and buy Hex with my Ethereum, or swap it for Hex. So there's this transaction going on. They take a fee. Okay, so as you cross a bridge, there is a fee. Now, oh, there we go. And now you've got this facsimile of Ethereum, but it's actually really it's a code within pulsechain. Okay, now the next stage is you're going to take that to an exchange or a bank in pulsechain, and this is one of the ways to mitigate risk. Now, while it's wrapped like this, if the bridge is attacked, remember your real body remains on the bridge. So if the bridge is attacked, it's hacked, then that's it. It's gone. It doesn't matter how much you have, you know. So you've got to make the decision. Are you happy to stay in the wrap format and accept the risk? And there's a couple of ways to mitigate that, and I'll explain that. Well, I'll actually explain it now. So there is a risk to that hacking. Now, there's two ways you can mitigate, two main ways you can mitigate. One is obviously do a ton of research on the bridge. Now, I know that in pulsechain, it's one of the safest bridges that have ever existed because it's a direct copy of one of the safest bridges that's ever existed. And so make sure you do your research, and also don't follow any links from chat groups. So don't say, oh, which is the best bridge? And someone says, oh, you got to use this bridge, and they give you a link, because 99 out of 100 times that is a scammer who's going to take your money if you connect to it. Because obviously you've got to connect to these protocols. You've got to connect your wallet. So get 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 different reputable resources. Okay. And then when you do it, make sure you got exactly the right protocol that you're going to. You got the right URL, and if needs be, just transfer a small amount over. Okay. Initially, these bridges can take a long time, especially when a new chain opens up. When pulsechain opened up, initially it was taking 24 to 48 hours. There was like a massive traffic jam as everyone decided they were going to move from Ethereum into pulsechain. Okay. So just bear that in mind if it's a new bridge, and maybe even practice on an old bridge, or even better, practice on a test net. And then there's no, if you've got something new that's developing, make sure you do it on the test net, and then your money's not going to be at risk. And the other thing is, when it first kicks off, maybe leave it for a few days just to make sure everyone's happy with it. Okay. And that it's working flawlessly. So that's the first risk. That's the first risk reducer. Do your research, okay? And then the second one is once you get over to the other side, you can change it into a native coin. So, for example, you're going to see me on the next show. I'm going to show you buying coins in pulsechain. On this one, I'm showing you getting across the bridge, and then on the next one, we're going to arrive on the other side, and we're going to be buying coins on pulsechain. Okay, so you don't want to hang around, a little bit like the analogy of a portaloo. You don't want to be hanging around any longer than you need to do your business. And remember, there's some portaloos that you ain't never going to go into. Okay, so don't go into those if you're suspicious. All right, because it's your wealth, it's your value that you'd be losing. Okay, so I hope that's of some use. I'm going to play the rest of this video. It's going to go into discussing getting across the pulsechain bridge. All right, and here we go. So there's the hex on the other side. So you've unwrapped it. You've then bought hex. Now you have hex on the other side, and that risk has gone. Ethereum, our wallet is, but now we're going to bridge. Now this is the interesting bit. So we're in the country of Ethereum, our wallet is, but now we're going to bridge it. We're going to take it to a different country. We're going to cross the border, and that's a whole it's not onerous, it just is a thing to understand. So we need the bridge. Now it's very important to have the official name of the bridge. So I'm going to go to Go Real DeFi. This is a go-to site that I use for my community, which is pulsechain, gorealdefi.com. And this gives me some of the more often used protocols in pulsechain. This is the bridge. There are several different types of bridges. This is the one that I trust the most. There are anything extra added to the movement of money adds risk. So crossing bridges that you're not comfortable with is not a good idea. Okay, so we're going to click on that, and then this opens. This is a decentralized app. It's actually not hosted on a regular website. The back end of it is 100% decentralized, but the front end is here. So this is how we get in. Okay, so we're going to connect our wallet like we did before. So it looks kind of like an exchange site. we're going to connect. Don't worry about the bridge my pinata. It's just the site that hosts the decentralized code and gives the developers access to it. Okay, so I'm going to move the rest of my USDC from Ethereum now to pulsechain. So first of all, I'm going to select USDC. So on this, guys, the wallet's actually connected. It comes up as a pop-up, and I was videoing the pop-ups on a different system and trying to splice them together, but it looks like I'm struggling with the internet now, which isn't good. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm going to move that completely across to pulsechain. So you see, just popped up the value of the balance. It just popped up to. Now, the cool thing about pulsechain is bridge fee is 0%. Very, very few bridge fees is 0%. Obviously, it's a new chain, so everyone's excited to. So just to give you a bit of a heads up, it looks like I used USDC. Sometimes I use DSDC. I prefer to use Ethereum, especially if it's looking bullish and it's going up. Because if it takes a day or two, or maybe 3 days to do a transaction, because I'm working, and then I make that decision at the time. But if I want to be stable, and in this case, I wanted it to be stable because this was an experiment. I want $1,000 to start. I don't want to deposit $1,000 and then buy basically $1,000 worth. If I take a day or two, it could have gone from 1,000 to 1,100, or it could have dropped down to 900. So it just depends what you want to do. And the other thing to bear in mind when you are moving across a network is some networks like Ethereum can be cheaper if you move in Ethereum. But for example, getting off of my on-ramp or off-ramp, which is where I'm moving my fiat money, my dollars into cryptocurrency like Ethereum, there is a big fee for Ethereum, and there was a lesser fee for USDC, which I found strange but true. Okay, so just keep in mind on that, and bear in mind that have people join us, a new country, so we're excited to have people come to the country. So there is all resistance to getting into the country has been reduced as much as possible. Frigid is very different. Let me see. So I'm going to put max. You get max here. And what was set up, I don't know if it still is, when you cross the bridge, if you don't have Pulse, you remember that I had to get Ethereum to transact in the country of Ethereum. Well, here you used to be getting given a few hundred Pulse so you could transact. If not, it's not a big deal. I can transfer some Pulse to my wallet because I'm fortunate I've got some in another wallet. Okay. Now it's asking, do I authorize this to? There you go, guys. So it's actually, you can't quite see the authorization pop up on that. It normally pops up on the right-hand side. It's a box you have to read. Asking for me to authorize the bridge to get access to my wallet, and I do because I trust this bridge. Don't just do it with any old bridge, and if you are using a bridge for the first time, make sure you researched it. Even this one, don't take my word for it. I may be a scammer. Yeah. Okay. Now here's the thing. Crossing a bridge does take time. When this bridge first opened, everyone was trying to get across it, and it literally took 2 days. Okay. But usually a bridge... Okay, so click send it. So it's asking for authorization to transfer this across the pulsechain. So we're clicking yes. And then that's going to happen. It does a number of checks and tests. It's like, so it's saying 744 gets taken out. So guys, one thing to bear in mind, if you're going to a new network, I don't know if you got that. I did explain it on the video. It might be so clear. You go to a new country. When you arrive off the plane, you got to have some of their money in your pocket. If you're not getting to well, in fact, you got to have some of their money in your pocket because it costs their money to go to a cash machine and draw some money out. Okay. It costs a little bit, like a couple of bucks. So you got to have some of the native coin in your wallet. So in other words, if I'm going through Ethereum to pulsechain and I have no Pulse in my wallet, I've just got Ethereum Ether, then you've got to get some from somewhere. As you heard me say, they had a great piece on here when new people came across or a new wallet came across, then they will drop a couple of hundred pulse in there as like probably 15 cents or something, but it was enough to be able to transact and then get your own pulse, so then you could pay the fees moving forward. Okay, so that's going to apply whichever one you're going to. Okay, and whether you're going across the BNB bridge, I'm not sure if that still exists. I went across it a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it does, but it may have a different name. And there are lots of other private bridges which aren't necessarily to do with the founders, and they'll be offering different things, different ways to bridge, or maybe even swap across a bridge. So, but you do need to look at those fees. I just try and keep it simple because it's cheaper to do it like the step-by-step way. Okay, because I'm tight. All right, here we go. But also, you know, I value the value that's been given to me by my predecessors. Out of pulsechain, it gets put into, sorry, off of Ethereum, it gets put into pulsechain. It's an Omni bridge protocol. That's you can see the bridge fee at the top is 0. Protocol. Now that's going to take about 30 minutes. But that bridge fee is 0. Once a bridge is set up and running, it takes about 30 minutes. It was still 0 the last time I looked. If it's a brand new bridge and everyone's trying to get across it, as I said, it could take a lot longer. Okay, I'll leave you lovely people with that. Here we go. Or maybe we don't. Right, okay. So to cross a bridge takes about 30 minutes when it's operating correctly and there isn't a massive like rush to go one way or the other. Obviously, in times of high volatility or if people trying to get off the chain, they may try and rush through to cash out or something. So you just need to be aware of that. Now, what will happen, the actual end state of this, which I thought I had on this little clip, is that basically it starts counting up to 90. There are basically 90 validators that it has to go through. And I'll start by now, say 1 of 90, 2 of 90, 3 of 90. And when you're doing that, you know that you're on the way to crossing the bridge. And then really simply, I don't know if, let me show you on the Monte Carlo wallet, because I've got to show you this at some stage. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot now, just while I'm doing this. I don't know if you guys realize that you can have multiple wallets, and it's a good idea for security reasons to have multiple wallets. I've used a few different ones. I personally like Rabby, and I'm not shilling that. I get nothing for it. I just like it because it works well with my chain. So if you've got a specific chain, then you've got to find one that works well for you. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just logging onto the Monte Carlo wallet because I want to give you an update in real time. Okay, there it is. And there's something else I want to show you as well to do with the wallets, which I've recorded, but the trouble is I've got like 60 minutes of video to go through to give you a 2-minute clip, which I was doing live streaming because I was trying to avoid that because I only have so much time in the day. Oh, hold on, that's not right. Okay, almost there. Oh, I guess I could do yeah, I could do that. Right, let me try. Just trying to get in touch. File share screen. Okay, so this is the Monte Carlo wallet. All right. So 1539. I was looking at this yesterday, and it was around about that as well. 1539. So we started at 992. We're about 50% up, which for crypto gains is pretty poor, as we know. However, for like TradFi, although obviously not TradFi, that's a 50% gain in 6 weeks. So multiply that by 10, that's 500% APR, which if you extrapolate it, which to be honest, that's a dangerous thing to do in crypto because of the massive volatility up and down. You can only really count on where you are at this moment. But this is what I wanted to show you. You see the two logos here. This is the pulsechain logo. This is the Ethereum logo. Okay, and on Rabby, you click on that. Boop. And on Ethereum, it's going to tell you, and you've got this here, and you click again. It shows me my hex on Ethereum. So that's what I bought right at the beginning before I crossed the bear bridge. So I took my money, my fiat money from my bank account. I e-transferred it into my on-ramp, off-ramp. That's the porta potty. Okay, as soon as I could, I got my USDC out, which is a crypto representation of $1. But you've got to be careful because it's not $1. It's a representation. Okay, and they can go up and down and crash, and especially if they're not trustworthy. And then I took that USDC, a quarter of it went into Hex on Ethereum, and I'm going to show you why later. This is a learning channel, a learning experience, as well as fun, and well as learning about Monaco. And we're going to do some liquidity providing later. And then I took the other 3/4 across the bridge, and I've shown you the bridge there. And then I'm going to show you in the next one. Actually, I'm going to show you the second part of the bridge when we come off the bridge, and what it looks like then. You basically open up your wallet, and then instead of having no assets in when I click this tab, I have this little tab, this little pulsechain. So this is the country of pulsechain. This is the investments I have in the country of pulsechain. This is the pulse. This is the hex. Okay, interesting. 529 hex on pulsechain. 409 hex on Ethereum. That has kind of shifted massively. When I first started, it was about an $800 value on Ethereum. And so at the moment, and again, I'll talk about this later, this is more of an intermediate to advanced strategy when you start looking at the ratios between hex and ehex. Exactly the same product on different chains, so they have different values. Okay, so it's like having a house, but you got a house on in Piccadilly Circus in London compared to being out in the sticks in, or let's talk about New York City, compared to in the middle of the cornfields of Kansas or Idaho, or wherever it might be. Same house, completely different values. Okay, so similar here. Okay, but yeah, so I'm going to talk about the ratio between those and how you can look at it just for your own education. Okay, not as advice. I'll show you what I've been doing, and we'll see how that works over time, because again, I'm in for the long run. Anyway, guys, that's 40 minutes. I want to show you something else about Monaco now. So I've been doing quite a lot of research on Monaco because, like I say, I was conscious that I let you guys down. Right, and let's see what we've got in the chat. There's Mr. Wilson. Oh, okay. Oh shit! Thanks. Sorry, it looks like you missed my live wallet stuff happening. Okay, to this. Oh, sorry guys. It looks like I did I not? Oh yeah. So this is the crypto. All right. Thanks, Will. Sorry about. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure we got this right. So, oh, okay, right. Oh, you couldn't see the wallet, right? But you could see the screen. Okay, now I understand. Right. Now, yeah, what I've got to do, I've got to share the whole screen. So you're going to go back into the distance. Okay, guys, let's try again. Okay, so I'm just going to jump over to the wallet. Here it is here. Here's the Monte Carlo wallet. Okay. And yeah, you should be able to see it shortly. So it's 1,535. There you go. You got it now. Okay. 1,535. Okay. So sorry, what I was trying to show you was once you've crossed the bridge, instead of just having like this one little Ethereum logo, which when you click on it, it actually shows you everything you got in all your networks. So if I had 10 different networks, I had BNB, I had, Base or whatever it might be, then these would show up here right at the same place. And if I want to see exactly what I got on one, I highlight that. It blurs out the others. And down here, you've got your assets. Okay. So as I said before, what I did as I came from my bank account, on my on ramp, my porta potty, I took my 1,000 US dollars into my porta potty, and then I moved them. I changed them into Ethereum in the porta potty. Got out quickly. Actually changed into USDC because of, as I mentioned earlier, I got out. And the reason I wanted USDC is I wanted to be able to compare apples with apples as far as what I was investing. I then went to my 1inch, which is a centralized, actually it's decentralized exchange. Okay, so no middlemen, just code. I plug in $250 at one end or approximately, and it pops out the other end as Ethereum based hex. So I bought my house in Kansas, sorry, God, guys, I can't even think at the moment. So I think that what the wheat fields places are, but let's say about Idaho because we like potatoes, and I know Hexologist likes potatoes. So we bought a house beside our potato fields in Idaho, and we bought exactly that because now we want to go to New York City and buy exactly the same house. Okay, so I transferred across the bridge. Yeah, and remember, to get across the bridge, I need to make sure I got some pulsechain. Now, obviously, I bought pulsechain in the past, so I squirreled a little bit in behind. If you haven't got it, then you're going to have to see how you can. Well, most people have got it somewhere or the other now. But it used to be that you'd get it as you cross the bridge. So maybe even just try crossing the bridge and see if that's what I tried. And see if they're still giving you post across. Okay, and then when you have done cross the bridge, you'll get an extra logo now, and it'll show you a couple of posts which you may have got as a gift as you cross the bridge, and then you can carry on and transact. In my case, I probably put a couple of bucks worth of posts in there. Don't want to do too much because, again, I've got this experiment going on, and a quarter of what I had right at the beginning, $250, I bought PHEX, and the other half I bought PLS. Okay, and that's where we've been. That's where we've been since the beginning of September. It's come up to the beginning of November now. So we made 50% gains over 2 months, which, as I said earlier, isn't great in crypto, but as a legacy finance person earning 3 or 4% a year, 50% in 2 months is pretty friggin' awesome. Okay, so we've got to remember that. We've got to keep a little bit of Monaco or bust. I want you to know what you can do with your car parking space once you get there. All right, the things you can see and do. But I was trying to get a cam, a Monaco cam, but it looks like they've all been shut off. So it's a small country, but I think because of privacy laws, they banned webcams. But I found this, and let's see if I can show you this, which is called windy.com. And it looks kind of like a weather site. But I typed in Monaco, and there it is there. I got these things here, and there is meant to be a webcam there, but it wasn't working. There's one here in this place called Menton, and then this is Ventimiglia. So what you've got, and this place here I've been to. This is friggin' awesome. This place here is called so I want to see if I can get to the. Oh, there we go. We have something. So this is on the edge of Monaco. This is the beach, I think. 27th. That's today. 5:38. They're 4 hours behind. So yeah, that's now. Okay. I wonder if I can move it around. Oh no, that's 9 minutes ago. You can. It's kind of neat. You can scroll back and see what was happening, especially if it's like all over the like 24 hours. So this is where I was this morning. I was here 14 hours ago. So this is called so if you want to check anywhere around the world what's been happening lately, and it gives you a kind of fast track, that is pretty neat. So that is oh, there it is. There it is. So there's Monaco. So yeah, it's still not in Monaco. It's in the bay to the east of Monaco. There used to be one in Monaco, but about 10 years ago, all of the camcorders seem to have got switched off. So obviously there's some people that didn't want to be seen there. Okay, but there's kind of a neat. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Ventimiglia. It looks out towards. Okay, it looks out towards Monaco. So yeah, if you just were like wondering what things are looking like, this looks like it's a pretty dash good. There we go. That's pretty. We were here this morning at 7 o'clock, and these trees, because of the weird light, just as the sun was coming up, they looked like they were all covered in. They're all covered in. Oh, that's even better. All covered in snow. Okay, so this is. I don't know if you can see my point. Oh yeah, you can. So this is Monaco here, just around. It's kind of on that point stroke around the corner. Okay. In fact, I think that's it there. That's one point. This is the other point. There's a bay in between, and that's Monaco. So this is Ventimiglia. This is actually it. Yeah, this is where I was this morning. Look, see how the trees, they look like there's snow on there. I was like, oh my God, it's Italy and there's snow there. Because me being from the Great White North. But then I just followed it backwards and forwards. But it was just purely the light and the way the light affected the camera there. Yeah, but anyway, so there you go. I try to show you Monaco up close and personal. If any of you have got any comments or anything you know about Monaco or any resources I could share with the guys, that'd be fantastic. I am going to look to see if we can get some guest speakers from Monaco. And I want to mix it up with the crypto. So do share the stream. All right. Help pump your own bags, get it out there to your friends and family. I think as a beginner show, I think this is going to be a great resource for people that are just getting into crypto. They're a little bit suspicious. I can guide them through it. You know, I'm a registered chiropractic doctor, so I mean that's got to count for something. I'm not dumb. Screen share for tabs and windows. Okay. was messing things up. Okay, right, everyone. Now, I do want to, like I say, I want to honor your time. I hope that has been of use. So part one today, the bridge, crossing the bridge. I gave you 2 things you can do to maintain your security. Okay, keep yourself safe. Stay safe out there when you're crossing your bridges. All right, and I give you a little bit about Monaco. In fact, I give you 2 sets of things about Monaco, okay? I look forward to doing it again because it's a lot of fun doing the research about Monaco and blending it in with the crypto. Next week, we're going to go across the bridge. I'm going to show you how to buy little known alt assets, little known altcoin assets. Yeah, and we will take it from there. In the meantime, have a fantastic week. Okay, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic moment. Enjoy every moment, okay? Because here's the thing. The truth is, we never know how much time we actually have left. That is a little bit right. So that is a little bit depressing, but the point is make the most of it. That is the bit that isn't depressing. Okay, take care, guys. Dr.
Bitcoin dropped 75, Ethereum dropped 85, Hex dropped 95. Which one do you think is going to get up the hardest?
Thank you. Please pull forward.